All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us at the 2018 Canadian Gaming Summit. My name is Paul Burns. I'm the President and CEO of the Canadian Gaming Association. Thank you for joining us here in Niagara Falls, and I hope you've enjoyed your breakfast. Off the top, I also want to say that we've done something new and unique this year with help from the folks at Bump 50/50, that we have a 50/50 draw going on during the Canadian Gaming Summit this year. So you will see folks with tablets, and always as part of a summit in the host community where we go, we have an opportunity to donate to a local charity. And this year we thought we would use some of our game technology to actually create something a little different. So we, with the folks at Bump 50/50 and the local charity Project Share, are out selling tickets around the floor. You'll see a red t-shirt. They have orange tablets. Please feel free to participate in the 50/50 draw and maybe able to take home a little bit of money for yourself. So I do that off the top, so thank you very much. On behalf of the Canadian Gaming Association and our board of directors, we're thrilled to be back in Niagara Falls. As you know, it's home both to Fallsview Casino and Casino Niagara. And we would like to thank Richard Taylor and his team at Niagara Casinos for their support and efforts towards making the 2018 Canadian Gaming Summit a success. Gaming operators like the team at Niagara Casinos are an important part of the communities where this industry operates. From employees who volunteer at their favorite organizations, to sponsoring community events, to assisting in raising funds for important community causes, gaming operators are good corporate citizens, always leading by example. But the success we realize in our communities, though, is also built upon strong relationship with community leaders who have embraced our industry. And here in Niagara Falls, there are no bigger champion and advocate for the gaming industry than Mayor Jim Diodati. And I'd like to invite Mayor Diodati to the stage to bring greetings on behalf of the City of Niagara Falls. Mayor Diodati. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Paul. Appreciate it. I know I haven't seen you guys here in 6 years. Does anybody remember what happened 6 years ago here in Niagara Falls that made international headlines? Who knows? That's right, Nick Wallenda made his memorable walk on the wire across the Great Canadian Horseshoe Falls, and it was viewed by 1 billion people in a 24-hour period, every corner of the globe. It was unbelievable. And to be there that night, we had to change international law. We needed Governor Cuomo on side at the time, Premier McGuinty, to allow this to happen in Niagara Falls. And the best part, I thought, was when he got across the wire and he was met by our border guards, and they wanted to know if he had any alcohol to declare. Well, he just had 2 cases. That was allowed, so it was okay. Didn't really matter. So Niagara Falls, I like to say we offer a buffet of fun and excitement. And the casinos are one of the different offerings on the buffet. 14 million people here come here every year, and I get the pleasure of bringing greeting to so many of them at all sorts of conferences like this one. And it gives us a lot of pleasure to host and roll out the red carpet, or in this case, the black carpet, for our guests visiting in Niagara Falls. We know you're going to have a very productive conference. I'll just point out a couple of things. Just over 200 years ago, for those of you not aware, we are at war with our neighbors to the south. And it's not that we celebrate wars, but we celebrate outcomes, which has been 200 years of peace and 200 years of the world's largest unmilitarized border. There's a lot of history that took place here in Niagara Falls, including the bloodiest battle ever fought on Canadian soil. So if you're interested in cultural or historical tourism, be sure to take that in. And the last thing, I'm going to leave you with a little bit of information. Mid-afternoon, you're going to see an amazing, just after lunch, rainbow. You're going to see it crest across the falls, across the mist, and it is absolutely spectacular. People come from all over the world, and I have not been to a place around the world yet where the people did not know Niagara Falls instantly. I joke sometimes we're like the Kleenex, or we're like the Coca-Cola of municipalities because of that water that goes over those rocks. 20% of the world's fresh water flows from the Great Lakes. So the one little tidbit of information I'm going to share with you, you probably don't already know this, but it's interesting information. Niagara Falls has the highest concentration of naturally occurring negative ions anywhere in the world. And people don't know a lot about negative ions. Negative ions are positive in nature. They give you a sense of well-being, healing, vitality, energy. As a matter of fact, people come from all over the world to meditate or to do yoga right at the falls. And it's our small way of saying thank you for visiting Niagara Falls. It's absolutely free, but you have to be here to participate in the negative ions. I know Richard will have you believe that all the positive feelings are just from winning at the casino. We like to think the negative ions have something to do with it as well. So ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the City of Niagara Falls, I'd like to welcome all of you here to the conference. I'm sure it'll be a fruitful stay, and I'm sure you're going to have a lot of memories that you'll take with you, and you'll have a lot of great friends, new friends that you'll make while you're here as well. So enjoy your stay and have a great conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Diodati. Do appreciate you joining us this morning and bringing greetings on behalf of the great citizens of Niagara Falls. It is an exciting time to work in our industry as we're in a period of expansion and renewal, and most notably here in Ontario. Canadian gaming revenues in 2017 were just shy of $16 billion, with non-gaming revenue just around $1 billion. Our industry continues to expand as we focus on our customers, the quality of their experience, and how technology and innovation may open up new options for entertainment. So by coming together here at the summit, I hope you learn something new. Maybe it's a spark, maybe it's an idea or connection, but it'll be something that gets you to think differently about your job, your company, the way you do business. And that's part of my commitment to you as the new president and CEO of the CGA. By now, you've probably read about CGA 2.0, which was created to outline the CGA's role in shaping the continued evolution of the Canadian gaming industry. And it's built on three specific themes. We talk about advocacy and awareness, promoting the economic value of gaming by revealing the industry's contributions to communities across the country, through research and innovation to support the evolution of the Canadian gaming industry through research, innovation, and shared best practices, and by dialogue and convening, creating productive dialogue amongst industry stakeholders that optimize the potential of our industry. And productive dialogue amongst industry stakeholders, well, that's what this is about, and then bringing everybody together here at the Canadian Gaming Summit. We'll provide opportunities to create ideas, dynamic conversations that lead to new ideas for our industry. And that's something that we've been concentrating on at the CGA for the first half of this year. We launched a new website with updated design and more material available. We also created the CGA Update, a new newsletter that will report on the CGA's activities and initiatives on a regular basis. And recently, CGA hosted CGA at ICE, telling Canada's innovation story during the ICE conference in London in February. For 2 hours, we had Canadian gaming entrepreneurs and experts shedding light on Canada's contribution to the global gaming industry and explaining the benefits of developing technology and doing business right here in Canada. And following that, we hosted a networking event for the first time at ICE to bring people together. And our feedback from the participants in the conference at ICE felt the connection between Canada and gaming and innovation was an important one for the CGA to make to a global audience. So the CGA, we've been busy advocating for the expansion of gaming and renewal of gaming facilities in communities across Canada. We've also lent our support to the industry when it comes to defending anti-money laundering practices, including appearing before the House of Commons Finance Committee in April to discuss money laundering in the Canadian gaming industry. And lately, we've been talking a little bit about sports betting. As I'm sure you're all aware, the U.S. Supreme Court struck down the Professional Amateur Sport Protection Act, opening the door for regulated sports wagering in the United States. While this was welcome news for U.S. operators, it reinforced to us that Canadian Parliament still needs to act. Our industry requested a simple amendment to the Criminal Code 7 years ago to permit single-event sports wagering. Brought together a coalition of business, labor, law enforcement, amateur sport organizations. They stood with our industry to ask for a level playing field against illegal bookmaking operations. This amendment would have brought actually greater regulatory oversight to sports wagering, protection for consumers, athletes, and the integrity of sport. Well, the need hasn't changed, and we're still asking. Just recently, others have stepped up to add their voice to the chorus for Parliament to act. Mayor Diodati himself issued a press release and a challenge for other mayors to step up. And also the Attorney General in British Columbia also spoke up in saying for the need for the criminal code to be changed. So we have some renewed momentum. We hope to have more news to share with you in the coming weeks and months as conversations and we work with advocates to help our industry seek the change we desire. Well, turning to the CGA, our board has undergone renewal through discussions with stakeholders through our strategic planning process. We talked to members, potential members, and we saw a strong consensus emerge that the board should be a place where representatives discuss matters of substance impacting the future of our industry, find agreement on major issues, and develop coordinated responses to potential threats. Our board recently voted to increase the number of representatives on our board to better reflect the various sectors of our industry and establish a more balanced representative board. For the first time, the association will also invite representatives from outside our membership to bring their perspectives and expertise to our board of directors. And I'm pleased to say that Shelley White, CEO of the Responsible Gambling Council, is our first member outside our membership. And we are thrilled that she is going to agree to lend her expertise to our board. So thank you, Shelley. We appreciate that very much. For the first time, we'll also be establishing board committees to address pressing and ongoing issues. These committees will be chaired by members of the board, but will be made up of interested members from the broader industry, yourselves, subject matter experts, all working alongside each other to help advance issues of common concern for our industry. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the CGA Board of Directors for their support and their work in the past year. In particular, our outgoing chairman, Bob Parente from Scientific Games, who gave many hours to our strategic planning process and championed it across our industry. We'd like to thank Bob for his efforts on behalf of the CGA board. Thank you, Bob. I would also like to thank Kevin Laforette from Caesars Windsor for his 12 years of service on our board and his continued support. I'd like to say thanks to our outgoing corporate secretary, Gord Baker, who has been with the CGA since its inception in 2005. And to Richard Taylor and his team, and here specifically for his work on our strategic planning process and his continued support of the CGA. Today, the CGA membership in the CGA continues to include all facets of the industry: facility owners, operators, crown agencies, manufacturers, and suppliers of goods and services. Since becoming president and CEO and working with the board, we've expanded the mandate of the CGA to bring more inclusive, diverse membership in order to broaden the representation and the roles we will all play. So I want to say, in closing, one is thank you to all of you as members of this industry for the work you do every day. Please enjoy the summit. I'm glad we bring everybody together at least once a year to share and have these times of conversation. So thank you very much.